Did your website traffic recently just dip? Yeah, you're not alone. Are your Google rankings stuck? It's not your imagination. Google's AI updates are rewriting the rules for how your business gets found online. Local businesses are getting caught off guard. I've had clients call me and say, "What the heck is happening? I'm ranking, but I'm not getting click throughs." We're going to talk about that today, and we're going to fix that for you. So, what myself and other digital marketing professionals that are in the SEO space, not everybody does the same thing. Some people focus on building websites, some people focus on getting those websites ranked. That's what I do in particular. And by the way, I'm Melody Campbell, the small business guru. Guru is just a guide. A guide. I'm your guide to get more business. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to know about Google and what's happening with search in 2025 to stay competitive and with more local customers without wasting money on ads. Now, I'm a fan of organic SEO, but pay-per-click ads, whether you're doing pay-per-click on Meta, pay-per-click on Google, they have their place. But I'm a big fan of the investment into search results. So if somebody comes in and they search for what you do and they don't know who you are yet, that's where you want to show up. But things are changing on that, and I want you to be informed. So I want you to stay tuned because I'm going to be talking a lot about this over the next, probably the rest of the year. In fact, I'm developing an entire course called the Local Visibility Blueprint, which will go much deeper into some of the information that I'm going to talk about today, where I'll go step by step and I'll show you what to do and how to do it. And at the end of this video, actually in the description below, as soon as I'm done recording this live, I'm going to put a link on where you can go download my brand new local visibility checklist. And these are things you can just go through it. Check, I did that. Check, I did that. And there's some things that you're going to want to do on an ongoing basis, like on the regular, like weekly, that type of thing. And it will cause your online presence to work with Google instead of wondering why Google just made you and your website invisible. Okay, let's get into that today. So stick around, like I said, at the end, because I'll give you a free checklist that walks you through everything step by step. Okay, so the first thing is what has Google changed? Why have they changed? And what does it mean to you as a local business owner? So I don't know if you've gone into search and you put in whatever you're looking for. And if it's not something like, Mexican restaurant near me that's open, that of course is going to show you Google Maps. But if you're looking for something more informational, like how long should my roof last? You're going to see the Google's AI generative response at the top. And I believe it's even above the ads. So you're going to see AI, the ads, and then the map pack, and then finally the websites that are listed there. So this pulls, the Google AI pulls from websites that are trusted and optimized. So that's the key word there. It's optimized. So these are sites, when you see websites that are referenced in Google's AI at the top of the page, and this is happening more and more. I mean, it's happening pretty fast, but not everything is pulling up there. It's websites that do things the way Google wants them to be done, and they pull information and they put it at the top. And Google is trying to choose the most relevant information for the searchers, but it's almost like making a decision. It's not giving you 10 options as you can scroll through. It's giving you like, 2 or 3 options that answer different aspects of your question. And for some people, that's a real big deal, that you, whether you're not showing up in Google's AI responses at the top, that's something we definitely want to fix. And we emphasize that businesses not playing by Google's new rules are simply being skipped. So that's what I want to help you do, is get in line with Google's factors that influence how often they show you up in just the search aspect, which is what I've been doing for several years now. But how do you show up in AI also? Because some people, when they're getting ready to make a buying decision, it depends on what it is. If it's Mexican food near me, that's more of a spontaneous, what's the word I'm looking for? This is, it's a spontaneous decision. It's, in the moment, hey, let's go get Mexican food. Let's find out where there's a place that's open near us. But if you're going to buy a roof, or you're remodeling your bathroom, or you're going to hire an attorney, you're probably going to look for some information first. That's why Google is putting their AI at the top of the page. Depending on your question, there's going to be information, because a lot of people are searching for information first before they search for the act, making a commercial decision. And you want to show up in both places. So it's like, think of it like this. Google used to be a phone book. I don't know if you remember in the good old days where we'd get the big old thick yellow pages out, and we'd flip through the pages and look for, an attorney or a roofer, and call and ask them a bunch of questions. Well, Google operated like that, but instead of picking up the phone to call somebody to get your questions answered, you could just go to their website. And the websites that have more information are the ones that Google likes, because now that they can direct people to your website to give them the information they're looking for. Well, that was before AI. Now Google is pulling information from the websites and putting it in that top section to answer people's questions before they ever take them to a website. And then it's up to the person to click on that there's a little link chain on the side of the description, the information. You can click on that, go right to a website that Google has chosen for you. Do you want to be chosen, or do you want Google to choose your competitor? So you still need to optimize your website with lots of valuable, rich content. It's going to make Google happy. Google wants you to see your expertise, your experience, your authority, and your trustworthiness. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about in the local visibility blueprint, is how to develop that trust relationship with Google right from your Google business profile. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about that more here. So think of it like this, as I started to say, Google used to be a phone book. Now it's a personal assistant who gives answers without even opening your website, or in this case, without even opening your brochure, in this case, website. So if you want to be what the company that shows up in Google's AI at the top, there are some things that you need to do to your Google business profile and to your website. So SEO is not dead. It may be being accomplished differently. Yes, AI can help you accomplish it. At this point, it's not perfect in terms of what it will do and how it will do it, but it will definitely move you forward in the right direction. So keep listening. Okay, so here's the biggest thing. And this has been like a year in the making with me, because I've had clients ask me, first of all, do I have a mid-range service? So I have 3 levels of service currently. I used to not have a middle level. So my initial level is SEO Lite. SEO Lite is going to be just all your citations. It's all your directory listings. It's the basic, bottom line, entry-level thing that any business can do to get Google's attention and get shown off more often. In the past, and I'm not so sure it would work now, but in the past, I have had websites that have ranked for their local area. So there's one lady in particular, she has a beauty salon, and she's not in a highly trafficked area. It's more like one of those little office malls that are kind of tucked in the back, and you don't see you don't walk by and go, oh, there's a hair salon, I think I'll get my hair cut. You don't see it unless you look for her sign. You have to know she's there to find her. Just with SEO Lite, We got her all the business that she needs. She's busy, at the time, the last time I talked to her, she was busy, I think 6 days a week for herself and for the other beauticians that were in her salon. And she didn't even have a website. She just maximized her Google business profile, and we set up the citation management. So that's my SEO Lite. And then I used to have a top level, which was the full campaign. Google has over 200 factors that influence how you show up online. 200 factors. That's a lot to do. Some of those things we do once and set it up. Some of the things we do once if we add new content and new pages. And some of the factors, we're not only doing something on them every single month, but we're monitoring. What did we do last time? Who came to the website? Did we get the click-throughs to increase or decrease? Did we get the impressions to increase or decrease? So there's a lot that goes into that full campaign. That's a bigger investment. But I've also seen businesses go from a couple $1,000s a month to $750,000 over 2 or 3 years' time. So it's powerful. It works. I swear by it myself. Built many businesses for my clients just with good SEO. But I didn't have a mid-range. So mid-range really focuses just on your Google business profile. And we're going to talk some more about that today. So Google business profile, first of all, you have to have one. If you don't have one, unless you're going to hustle out there to get people to find you, you're going to be kind of invisible unless people are walking by your business. So in your Google business profile, not only do you need to have one, you need to have it verified. You need to have your services written out with titles and descriptions. The descriptions should include, and same thing, titles and descriptions should include the words that your key or ideal clients might be using if they're looking for you. So just as an example, I do this for a cleaning service, and she's like, I have residential and commercial cleaning. Well, you'd think that says it all, but no, because there are many more words that your ideal client will use when they're looking for the service that you do. So you've got move in and move out cleans. You've got apartment clean outs. You've got Airbnb and Verbo clean outs. You've got office cleanup. You've got, you just on and on. So you want to use all those descriptors in your Google business profile in a way that makes sense, so that when people search for you in the search bar of Google will say, oh, well, that phrase or that word is in these business profiles. Let's show these. It's not quite that simplistic, but generally so. So itemize out all your services and all your products with a great title that's optimized and a description that's optimized. Did you know you can add frequently asked questions on your Google business profile? Actually, for years, just thought that was a space for people to come and ask their question where you could answer it. And anybody, even a total stranger who doesn't work for you, could answer that question. So it's more like community generated content. Well, actually, what we've been doing for the last year is adding in all the questions that, first of all, that we get when people call me and I know, how long is it going to take for SEO to work? I know that's a question because I get that from my clients all the time. So it's in my Google business profile. Cleaning service. What kind of products do you use? Do we have to supply you with the cleaning products, or do you bring your own? All of those are questions that I know people ask. And so we're adding it to this cleaning service that I take care of her profile. So some of my clients have nearly 100 frequently asked questions. We just add 5 a week. I create the questions and the answers. Depending on the client, I will have them look at it. And once they've approved it for compliance, like an attorney or an insurance agent, something like that, they may have some compliance issues that they need to address. But once we've created it and approved it, I upload it to their profile, and it helps them to rank better on search. Just as an example, and I don't have a visual to show you on this, but I will be showing it in the course, the Local Visibility Blueprint course. But I'm working with an attorney, and when I first started working on this Google business profile, I did a heat map of where his website ranked in the Google map pack in different areas of town. So right in his neighborhood or 20 miles away. I could see, okay, if somebody searched, 5 miles away from his actual location, would he be in the top 3 or would he be in the top 10? Where would he fall? So we started in March. At the end of March, beginning of April, I ran another heat map, not mop. And some of the listings, different places in town went from like in the top 20. You don't want to be in the top 20. Like you're not in the map pack. You're going to go more businesses and scroll all the way to the bottom. That wasn't doing him any good. Early April, we had already taken him up to the top 3 for many sections of his town on multiple keywords. So this stuff works. So services, products, frequently asked questions, and photos. You definitely want to add photos in the top section, and you're going to geotag them. So that's like if you take your phone and you take a picture and you've got your location services turned on, and it tells it'll tag that photo that you're in Salem or you're in, I don't know, where would it be, Whittier or, wherever you happen to be located at. Your location services turned on will tag the photo. So if you're taking a picture of a job that you've finished, you want to keep your location services on, and that's the photo you want to upload. Now, if you don't have your location services on, or you want to tag it for different specific areas, I have software and I can teach you what it is, how to use it. You can upload the photo and you can add the geotagging right onto the photo from a website online. So it tags you into, maybe it's a neighboring community. So then reviews. Okay, this is something that we all know about. Most business owners that I talk to don't necessarily take a very active approach on getting more reviews, but you should. At the end of every project that you work on, ask your customer to leave you a review. And then there's weekly posts. So weekly posts, there's a section on your Google Business Profile. It'll say add an update. And again, I'm going to be teaching you what to do and how to do this step by step. They'll have visuals to go with it. You're going to add a post at least weekly. So weekly, you can be like, you're having a Mother's Day special, or you can talk about a listing of a home that you just sold, or you're just an update. You can talk about offers, deals, education. There's lots of opportunities. There are a few restrictions. We'll talk about those in the class. Okay, so if you haven't added services and products with detailed descriptions, or if you haven't added your frequently asked questions, I'm going to say do it. Do it today. Put it on your today's to list, because Google reads every word. This will help your Google Business Profile to get shown off more predominantly when people in your area search for what you do, and it matches some of the words that are in your Google Business Profile. So here's the thing. If you think about it as it relates to search, your Google Business Profile operates a lot more like your homepage, like literally everything that they would need to know, the reviews of people that have used you, a list of your products and services, your phone number, your address. A lot of your information can be had right on your Google Business Profile, and that's what Google is looking for, to match them. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean you don't need a website. Don't put all of your trust in Google, so to speak, where just everything you have is your Google Business Profile, because they've been known to take those profiles down for what seems to be an absurd reason. Like, why is this down? It was up, it was working, it was good. Now, why is my Google Business Profile unverified or suspended? I've helped many a client to fix that. In fact, sometimes that's the first connection we have, is somebody will come to me and say, I heard you help with this. And I'm like, yep, I can help. And then we work together to get that published again. But I'm telling you, if you work on some of these things to update your website, and I'm pointing over here because I've got this list of stuff that I'm reading from, your products and services, your frequently asked questions, regularly adding photos. And here's a statistic that I read. I think Sterling Sky had it on her website, or maybe it was, I don't know, Search Engine Journal. But websites that have 1,000, actually, let me take that back. websites or Google business profiles that have 100 photos or more will have 1,000% increase on how often their Google business profile shows up in search. So when your Google business profile shows up in search, that's an opportunity for somebody to click on your website link and go to your website, see all your call to action and why they want to use you instead of your competitor. So you definitely want to focus on that. Okay, so Google, not only Google, but ChatGPT and all the different AI bots or whatever, and bots, alpha bots, they're judging more than just your website. They're looking at your reviews, your Google reviews, your social media reviews, so Facebook. In fact, having more Facebook reviews will help you show up more predominantly in Bing. Yeah, interesting. You want to have your directories, all the directories that you're on. So with my clients, when they come on with SEO Lite, that's the beginning. That's the first level where they get the citation management. Usually it's 30 or 40, but it can be up to 90 depending on your business category, where it has basic business information. Your name, your address, your phone number, list and description of your services, your hours, your holiday hours, all those kinds of things. And I'm telling you, there's nothing more frustrating than, for example, I went this weekend to buy something at a place that was supposed to have 24 hours and they were not open 24 hours. And I was frustrated because I just drove all the way there because their Google business profile said they're open. So don't frustrate your customers and don't frustrate Google. Make sure your Google business profile is managed and up to date. So, so because, sorry, got interrupted here. Okay, so if you're not checking your business on Apple Maps, Yelp, Bing Places, you're missing signals that Google's watching. So what I do in the SEO Lite, that entry level, and it's the entry level for any business that works with me on SEO. But if you get the mid-range or the top, or the high end, where the high end, I promise 5 new keyword rankings every month and an overall rank increase of 25 positions. I have a client right now that's on the first page of Google for over 500 keywords. Her business has gone from a couple $1,000s a month to almost $1 million in sales from the SEO that we're targeting to get people to her website. She gets regularly 100 new clients a month. Comes from organic SEO. Her citations, directory listings, are included in what we do for her. And it's the entry level for someone who's just getting started without doing a full campaign. So here's another thing, is if your hours aren't updated. I already mentioned how frustrating that is. But imagine if you've moved and you're no longer at the location you were at, let's say last year. I've had that happen multiple clients. In fact, I dropped in on an insurance office and I was like, wow, your office is really hard to find. Google says you're that way about a mile. And goes, yeah, I know, we've been trying to correct that and we can't get them to change it. Well, they didn't claim or manage their Google business profile, or they could have changed it themselves. So make sure you keep up to date on that. So here's the other thing is, so I've covered all the basics of what you need to do so that Google isn't hiding you or selecting somebody else instead of you. That Google business profile is going to give you that predominant connection with Google, which has the ability to show you off to people who want to hire somebody who does what you do or has the products and services that you have. So I'm going to really quick recap. It's all about the profile. You want to make sure you have your products and services itemized with explicit descriptions, because those are the words that are going to match what people are searching for. You want to update your frequently asked questions. I mean, just think, what do my customers typically ask me? That's a starting place. You can also use resources like Answer the Public. You can use People Also Ask, which is a resource that Google has. So if you type in, junk removal Salem, and you scroll down to where it says People Also Ask, those are real questions that people ask Google when they're looking for junk removal. There's a few other sources which I will teach you about in the local visibility, but these are things you can take action on right now. And upload geotagged photos. That's in the top section. Make sure you have your logo, make sure you have a header, and then before and after photos, all the things of what you do. And make sure you post on Google at least weekly. So think of it like you would your social media. And I actually have a tool that I make available to my clients where they can schedule their weekly posts on the Google Business Profile right from my platform. That's my business power tool. And I'm happy to show you what to do and how to do it. The SEO Lite is actually also a part of the business power tool, plus a whole lot of other marketing automation features. So just to wrap it up. So in the description, I will have a link of my local visibility checklist. You want to download that because you can go through it, and everything that I just talked about, it's in a checklist, and you can go through it and make sure. Some of the stuff you're going to do once and it's done. You're good. There's other things that you're going to want to make sure you put it in your calendar because you're going to want to do it at least once a month, potentially every single week. Your posts, they should be done. They should publish weekly, but you can sit down once a month and get them all set up, and then they just automatically populate on your Google Business Profile every single week. Also, make sure you're responding to every review. So if you, let's say a client comes and leaves you a review and says, you're amazing, respond to it. Let's say somebody who came to do business with you and they left it mediocre. Respond. Somebody left you a terrible review. Respond. But when you're responding to those ones that are less than stellar, don't argue it out on Google. Okay. Say something like, I'm so sorry you felt that was your experience. You're welcome to come in and chat with me about it, and we can see if we can work this out. Just something that makes you look like a reasonable person, because honestly, most people expect that there's going to be a couple of haters out there. Sometimes they make up stories. I've seen it happen. But if you respond like a sane person, your future customers are going to go, well, you can't please everybody, but look how cordial and kind she sounds when she's responding to this review. So the local business that will win this year, starting this year with AI is just like bursting on the scene into everything, are the ones that adapt. So if you're a business owner, you've got to adapt. And I trust me, I talk to businesses all the time, or business owners all the time, head in hands, and they're saying, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. I just got a handle on things and now everything's changing. What the heck should I do? Start with your Google Business Profile. Optimize it like it's your home page. Because as far as Google's concerned, now it is. Now, that being said, you still want to optimize your website. Absolutely. And I did some comparisons in a variety of different ways, and I'm telling you, the website that is optimized with all or some of the 200 factors that Google uses to decide how well your website ranks will also show up in AI results. They will show up good in just the organic results at the bottom. So I wouldn't say stop doing that, because Google's still looking for that. That is more information that Google can pull from and put into the AI response with your little link off to the side. Do you want to miss out? Do you want it to be you, or do you want it to be your competitor? That's all I'm saying. So link below to get your local visibility checklist. Course coming up. I'm in the process of creating it, so stay tuned. Subscribe, follow, take action. More than important than just listening to me ramble on and on. Be prepared when you get the local visibility checklist. Be prepared to take action and keep taking action every single week. Get ready for the announcement on my class. And if you're a home services business, I would love to do an audit on your website. So I'm going to put that link in the description below, link to get a search engine optimization audit from your website, the local visibility checklist. And if you subscribe to my newsletter at my website, or if you just download the local visibility blueprint, you will be on the announcement list for early access to the course. The difference between the checklist and the course is the checklist is just a list of things to be done. The course, I will show you what to do, how to do it, and why to do it. So I would love to know if you have any questions. Comment below. Subscribe for no fluff strategies that help you get found, chosen, and grow online and off. This is Melody Campbell, the Small Business Guru. I am your guide to get